So it's finished at the King Power Stadium. Leicester 2, Manchester City 1, and that is back-to-back defeats in the Premier League for the first time since I can remember. And we are going through a tricky phase right now. It's the worst possible time in the season for this to happen, with the fixtures coming thick and fast. But let's talk about the game and what exactly is going wrong at City right now. Yes guys, welcome to the reaction from the Leicester game. First and foremost, I do want to say I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. Not been a great one as far as City are concerned, obviously in the Premier League, dropping points left, right and centre right now. But I hope, regardless of the City results, you are having a good time. And if you do enjoy this video, as always guys, make sure to leave a big thumbs up on it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here, and leave your comments in the comment section below on your thoughts on what exactly is going wrong at City right now. I mean, it's fair to say that this is a tough time in the season. You've got the games coming thick and fast, a game every 3 days. It's the worst time to be stuttering, because if you have a small bad run, that bad run can cost you 9, 12, 15 points. And that is exactly what we're seeing with City right now. I saw the lineup for today's game, which is where we'll start things off. And I was actually pretty optimistic, you know, De Bruyne coming back in there, Aguero coming back in, David Silva returning on the bench. But I think when you look at one of the major things that's going wrong right now, it's our defence. It keeps on being changed, sometimes forced through injuries and suspensions, of course. But when you consider at the start of the season we were keeping clean sheets for fun, we've conceded another 2 today, and I think that's 8 or 9 games now in a row where we've conceded, which is a complete polar opposite to the way we started off this season. In terms of the team today, like I say, it's we had De Bruyne and Aguero coming back in. You had Edison in between the sticks. We had Laporte, Stones, Delph played in at left back today, and Danilo came in at right back. And in the midfield again, like I say, we had Gundogan coming in, we had De Bruyne coming in. But I think the big talking point, Bernardo Silva now as well, is the fact that without any Fernandinho in that team, we seem to suffer. I feel like I'm all over the shop with this video so far, so apologies. I'm just a bit like, want to get some stuff out there essentially. But ahead of them we had Sterling, Son and Aguero. Leicester lined up with exactly the same team that they played with in the week, I believe, and fair play to them, they got the job done. We took the lead fairly early on through Bernardo Silva, and when that goal went in, because like I said, when I saw the lineup I was quite optimistic. I thought, you know, we've got some of our key players back in there now. It's clear though, De Bruyne and Aguero yet to hit the floor running after their injuries, and that is a big part of the reason that we're struggling right now, I think. But yeah, we took the lead through Bernardo Silva, been solid for us all season, and when that goal went in I was like, you know what, that'll settle us down. Let's see this game through, get the 3 points, you know, perhaps add another goal. And they just hit back straight away within 5 minutes, and I think whenever you getting a concede away from home, the crowd's going to be up, and that's exactly what happened. It buoyed Leicester, and they played really well in the first half. They were actually going in at half-time, the team that looked more likely, more deserved to be in the lead, some people might say. So, got to half-time 1-1, come out for the second half, and it was really slow, really lethargic. Neither team really wanting to go for the winner seemingly. But again, Leicester looked the more dangerous, and then eventually did take the lead through a great strike through Ricardo Pereira. I mean, when you look at some of the goals we've conceded in the last couple of games as well, the Pereira goal today was magnificent. The Townsend volley against Palace last week is magnificent. You know, is that a bit of bad luck? Is there more to it than that? You know, I don't know. But that's the kind of goal you can't do too much about. But they got the win 2-1, and that does mean in terms of the league, we are now in 3rd place. It's been so long since we've been in 3rd, it's ridiculous. Tottenham have leapfrogged us after a 5-0 win today. They're really picking up form at the right time of the season, complete in contrast to ourselves. Liverpool won 4-0 again, and all of a sudden our goal difference and Liverpool's goal difference is exactly the same, which when you look back 5-6 weeks ago, we were clear, we had the goal difference. It's all just been eaten away at week after week after week, and Liverpool now top with the 6-point advantage over ourselves and with the same goal difference. So this game against them next Thursday is huge in the context of our league challenge, because I think if we lose next week, the way Liverpool are going, we can be saying goodbye to the Premier League title. It's that serious, because they're not losing. Liverpool aren't losing. You've got to give them credit for that. I mean, today they've won 4-0. The second goal's controversial because the penalties are very, very soft on. But regardless, you never fancied them to drop points today. And with ourselves, the way we're playing in the league right now, even before we got into today's game, I know, like I say, I saw the teams and I was a bit confident. You've got that little feeling in your pit of your stomach thinking, you know what, Leicester could do something here today. And that is what happens when you lose one game in the Premier League. You need to bounce back because teams sense the vulnerability, and that is something that we're going to have to get over the next couple of games because teams are going to fancy their chances against us now all of a sudden. Like I mentioned at the start, I think the big thing in our dip in form has been the rotation of the team. Most of that has been forced through injuries, like I said in the last game against Crystal Palace in the Premier League. We were missing our big five players, Fernandinho, De Bruyne, Aguero, David Silva, Bendy you could put in there as well. You know, they're big players to be missing. Today we had De Bruyne and Aguero back. They haven't hit the floor running like I've already mentioned as well. But I think the big deal is going to be made to the defence, because when you looked at the start of the season, as I've mentioned, you know, Laporte and Stones had formed such a phenomenal partnership. We were doing so well. Mendy was doing decent. Walker was doing solid. And now all of a sudden, Mendy's out for a long time. You've seen Stones and Laporte rotate a lot. And today we've got Danilo coming in. And that is what we're being made to pay for. You know, you can't afford to rotate so heavily in the back line, in my opinion. Ederson needs to know what's in front of him. That defence builds up an understanding. It's not like at the top end of the pitch where you can rotate and you've got different options. The defenders, they need to know where their partners are, where the defensive partners are. And that is something that when you're chopping and changing, it's not going to be quite as smooth. And that's shown again today. We conceded another 2 goals. And quite frankly, I think we need to revert back to the old style back four as quickly as possible. But obviously, with Mendy's injury making a break into that back four, that is just not allowed that to happen. And Danilo's coming today, who's very much sometimes he's all right, but he's not a great defender. Walker, admittedly, was very poor last week. So, you know, if there's ever a time where Danilo deserved the chance today, was it? I don't know how well he played individually, but, you know, it's disrupting that back line again. In front of them, I think it's fair to say that we're massively missing Fernandinho as well. Everyone knew at the start of the season, you know, he's 35. We needed someone capable of replacing him, and it just hasn't been the case that we've been able to do that. You know, he's out now, he's lacking the fitness, which isn't surprising when you consider how many games he's played for us over the last year or two, and with his age as well. And we are missing him so much when he's not in there. Gundogan sort of tries to fill in that position, and he's just not capable of it. I mean, he's not a bad player, Gundogan. I'm not going to rip into him like some City fans do. I think he's a decent player. He's a bit hot and cold, but he's certainly not a bad player. But that Fernandinho role, he doesn't seem to have the mobility to break up the play as well as Fernandinho, and he doesn't seem to have the defensive whereabouts to fill in as well either. You know, Fernandinho, his strongest asset is how well he reads the play, and Gundogan defensively just isn't as good as that, full stop. You know, that's just the way it is. And when you're going away to teams like Leicester, someone like Fernandinho is so pivotal to break up those counter-attacks, to win the ball back, and that is so incredibly pivotal to how we players are, because when he wins that ball back, it keeps the pressure on the opposition, it keeps the pressure mounting, and that is just something that we've missed lately, in my opinion, big style. And Fernandinho, the sooner we can get him back, the better. But it does raise the question going forward, you know, we need to find a replacement. Tango and Ndombele is a massively touted one. Phenomenal looking player for Lyon that we could potentially bring in, but that's for another video. That's for the future, you know. I think he's probably the ideal replacement as I see it right now. But Fernandinho, he's leaving a hole that we are really struggling to fill in. Looking forward, I think it's just important to get all of our key players back playing together as quickly as possible and get some momentum building with them in the team, because, you know, the sooner we can get Fernandinho, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne and Aguero all playing in the starting 11 in a game, the better. If anyone can tell me the last time that happened, it seems like it's been a long time ago. Obviously, De Bruyne's been out with a lengthy injury. Now you've got David Silva's just coming back. Aguero the same. So it's been a long time since our core team all played together, and that's going to have a lasting effect. You know, 6 points behind right now. It's definitely something we can claw back, but it's not going to happen unless we get that core team together. Next week against Liverpool is huge, because I think if we can get those 3 points at home, if we can reduce the gap to 3 points, you know, it's going to be massive. But as I've said, if we lose that game and it gets to 9 points, it's going to be tough to claw that back. You know, we've shown in the past we're capable of coming back from these kind of deficits, and we need to do so again. But we need to get our first team back playing together, need to get some momentum building once again, and we need to claw back at Liverpool, who right now are looking like a well-oiled machine, and we are looking all over the place, unfortunately. But I'd love to hear in the comment section down. By the way, not even mentioned the fact that Delph got sent off. Really poor from him. And did you know, little stat here, this is Delph's red card today. This is the, how can I word this better properly, sorry. This is the first red card we've had since Fabian Delph was sent off last time, which was against Wigan. So 2 red cards in like a year, and both of them have been Fabian Delph. It was a red card. He followed in on the man. it was poor, and that was just another kick in the teeth, essentially, because he's going to be missing for a couple of games. Obviously, we've got no Mendy either, so Zinchenko's going to have to come in and fill in some big boots there. But forgot to even touch upon that because I'm so frustrated and just got so much to talk about. But, yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. It's going to be a make or break week, in my opinion. But deep down, although I feel like in the pit of my stomach, I'm so frustrated and upset of what's going on at the moment. We're third in the league, sorry. We've got time to recover. We need to recover now, and we need to do it quickly. It is not over. The importance of having a bad run is how quickly you can bounce back, because although Liverpool have been phenomenal, they're not going to go invincibles, I don't think. They will lose at some point, and we need to make sure we are ready to pounce, whether that be next Thursday when we play against them or on any other occasion, because right now they are in danger of doing what we did last season, which is running away with the league. So, yeah, that is going to end off the video, guys, anyway. And that was a bit all over the place, but hopefully you still did enjoy this. Leave a big thumbs up if you did, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. It's a tough time to be a City fan right now in terms of this league challenge, obviously. We've had it so good over the last year or two. You know, when we do lose, it really hurts because we're just not used to it, essentially. We've not had a run like this. I mean, couldn't tell you the last time we lost 2 in a row, like I said in the introduction. So we need to make sure we bounce back. We need to do it quickly. And, yeah, let's hope that we can. As I'm doing this, Arsenal have just gone 1-0 up, by the way, with their Aubameyang. All the teams around us doing bits. United won today, Tottenham won today, Liverpool won today, Arsenal winning today. It's been a tough Christmas, guys. It's been a tough Christmas. That's going to end it tough anyway. Speak to you guys all next time. Nidge out.